Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our discussion on the reopening and future of workplaces. My name is Antoine Fuller, and I am Assistant Manager here at CBRE Cambodia for office leasing. I work closely with our property management team, as well as working closely with our clients and occupiers. Joining us today on this call is Shivali Chaman, our Head of Property Management. Over to you, Shivali, for a brief introduction.
Thank you, Antoine. Hello, everyone. This is Shivali Chaman, and I'm the Head of Property Management here at CBRE Cambodia. I've been working at CBRE Cambodia for the last 3 years, and prior to that, I was in Singapore and India, managing the facilities management and property management side of things. As my role of Head of Property Management, it's about talking to the clients and, of course, potential clients, and providing them best-in-class advice in terms of pandemic support and what's changing in the world of property management due to the pandemic, and how does the rents and service collection look like. We also provide property management consultancy. We provide pre-management setup and operations management for all sorts of projects classified in the different categories like residential, retail, offices, and mixed use. We have 250 million square meter of space managed by CBRE Property Management globally, and we have a lot of advice and expert guidance from the global standards and the region, which we apply here to provide the best advice to our clients and best client care, training, and leadership from property management side of things. Together, Antoine and myself, we are here talking about re-entry at workplaces after the recent lockdown here in Cambodia and what the future of workplaces look like. What do you think, Antoine, about the future of workplaces and how it has been the re-entry of people back at the offices?
Well, I think oceans apart, with countries like the UK, Australia, our situation has been very different here in Cambodia. It isn't until recently, really, that Cambodia has experienced its first lockdown a few weeks back. But before that, we were really all coming to the office as normal. Now more than ever, landlords need to understand their customers better, they need to understand their customers better than just being their occupiers. So Shivali, to take this conversation forward, would you like to briefly talk about the re-entry of people back to the workplace?
Yes, absolutely, Antoine. Just to add on to what you said, we have been extremely fortunate to be back after a very short lockdown here in Cambodia. In Cambodia, and the local authorities here and the government have done a fantastic job in keeping the containment of the pandemic and COVID spread to very limited numbers till last year and even early on this year. So it's just the two incidents in 20th of February this year and last year, Black Friday, if you remember. Those were the community spread cases that have actually spread the COVID to that. The numbers today look like around 22,000 cases in the country. However, the lockdown got over by the 5th of May. It was the first lockdown that was introduced in Cambodia, and we had a lot to learn from the region, from UK, from Australia and New Zealand coming back at workplaces and how to deal with it. I would like to take this opportunity to completely thank our real heroes, who are the property management team, cleaning team, and security team, who had provided the essential support and the complete support to our tenants and our clients during the tough times of lockdown. And thank the Lord for it, and then thank the complete team, property management team, that none of our projects, the 14 projects that we managed, were locked down due to the spread of COVID. We have followed all the guidance, and we have kept a very close eye onto what are the new precautions coming out and what are the safety measures coming out from WHO and international standards and local authority standard levels.
Yeah, and I think this is very important point, Shivali. As you mentioned, you know, as people are now starting to return to the workplace after the lockdown, it's very important, you know, to have, you know, cleaning visible in the workplace, in the common areas, in the lobby, so people feel safe, people know the building's being cleaned, and also that companies are taking the right protocols with, you know, regularly disinfecting the office, implementing social distancing, and of course hand sanitizer, face masks.
Yes, of course, Antoine. We last year the protocols were not as strict as what they were introduced this year. So last year we were following wearing the masks, social distancing, and disinfection of the common areas and high touch points very frequently or regularly, and also temperature screening. So these were the few precautions that were taken last year, but due to the recent spread, the precautions were heightened and there was a high alert here and very strictly monitored. So there were QR code scanning introduced. So individually, everybody could track back from where the person is coming from. So if it appears red, that means the person is very high alert or has COVID or has been to a place recently, has visited a place recently where it was infected with COVID or might have come in contact. So the contact tracing had really helped. And then there was orange and green color coding. So green means that you're free to go and you're absolutely fine and safe. And they also introduced a traffic light system within the districts, depending on the number of cases and how bad the spread was in that area. And that literally worked wonders in bringing the COVID cases down. So the surge in the cases, they had actually gone up to close to a 1,000 level mark, but it was somewhere hovering around 930 odd cases in a day, which were reported the highest in Cambodia in 10 to 15 days ago. And now as on 20th of May, the cases are around 400 level, which are far better. And you can see that, you know, the graph is actually coming down. So this is instilling a lot of confidence in the system, in the workplace, and there's a lot of positivity around with mass inoculation of vaccines. People are coming forthrightly and getting the vaccines, and there are actually even the foreigners and the locals, and they're very keen to get vaccinated because of their own personal safety. The numbers look like as on 16th of May, the statistics say that 3.21 million people have been vaccinated at least once, and around 1.2 million have been vaccinated overall, 2 doses. So and along with the precautions that were introduced last year, that you have to wear the face mask and you publicly cannot go out, you'll be fined if you're seen, and you couldn't travel in the provinces unless the lockdown was opened up on 6th of May. So that contained a lot of travel, unnecessary travel, and that probably contained a lot of virus spread and has actually helped the situation to get in control. So we still continue the temperature screening, still continue people washing their hands when they come in, and we still continue with QR code scanning and monitoring from which zones, area traffic light they're coming from. I think CBRE property management's approach has been to bring people back in a staged manner, and clients and our occupiers have been constantly in touch with us and asking what's the best practice and what's been followed internationally and what's the right thing to do, and we have been providing them the support, essential support during these tough times. So I would say that we had implemented this gradual and staged process of office re-entry, which was designed to restore the positivity and a positive mindset, keeping the wellness and well-being and their health and safety at utmost top priority. What we had actually added was the visible cleaning and the social distancing at the lobbies, not that everybody had to crowd together, and how to use the elevators, and we had actually put marks everywhere, and they have to keep 1.5 meters of distance. So these visible protocols and safety measures have actually helped and brought in a lot of positivity amongst the people coming back at the workplaces and at the sites. And what do you think, Antoine, about the workplaces and what's the future look like, and how the offices will be, what's the environment inside the offices will be for this year and years to come?
Well, I think, as you mentioned, Shivali, the government here has implemented, lots of strict measures to, prevent the spread. Also, Cambodia is doing extremely well with the vaccination. So these are all measures that are helping, contain the virus, but also get people back to the office quicker. I think, we are starting to see people coming back to the office. Obviously, the numbers aren't obviously back to, before February. So I think in terms of people coming back to the office, they feel more confident about coming into the workplace. And also, I think, I think people are enjoying coming back.
Yes, you're right. They're feeling safer than before. And you're right, at the street level, the Google mobility numbers, if you track them, they're back to 50% pre-pandemic spread time that was before 20th of February. So you see that the streets are getting busier again, but then there have been a lot of preventive protocols and reforms and strict measures being taken by the local authorities here by closing down the schools. The schools are still shut. And I believe that it will be shut for the whole school year, and it'll only open up maybe by the end of the year, but it's still under review unless the frontliners and the teachers and everybody gets vaccinated. So kids under 18 still do not have a solution around that. F&B outlets are still shut for dine-in. Alcohol bans here to stay. I believe that today the news has come out that it's still extended, so it's as on 20th of May that we are talking about it. So I think with these precautions and with the traffic light system and with staged and people coming back in tranches to workplaces, they're also being careful, but they're also watching the situation. So as and when people are getting vaccinated, they're coming back, and there's a lot of confidence being instilled into the system. But if you would have heard the recent webinar by our group CEO, CBRE's group CEO, Bob Salentic, he very rightly said that the offices are here to stay for different purposes, but it could be that the purpose might change a little bit or evolve a little bit on what it used to be before. But definitely the workplaces and the offices would still need headquarters and still would need site offices for the people to be able to access an office environment or environment where, that it's more structured and it's more formal and it's more collaborative. So the collaborative environment definitely is going to stay here. And I think you would like to talk a little bit more about how the space allocation looks like from your perspective and from workplace's perspective. But I totally believe that the space allocation might reconfigure or might change in times to come.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Shivali, that there is going to be, I think obviously the workplace is here to stay. But however, companies might start looking for a bit more elbow room in the office. We're also starting to get a few requirements from our occupiers or future tenants that they don't want to share pantries anymore. They don't want to share toilet spaces with other tenants. So they want to keep contact with other tenants in the building to an absolute minimum as possible.
You're right, the hybrid system and the hybrid working environment, and a few 50% staff will be working from home remotely, and so remote access and remote working is here to stay. And you've made a very good point there, talking about the amenities and the share of the amenities. So the strategy about the sharing of the amenities will focus probably more on the hospitality and the services side of things. and you will definitely see a lot more collaboration from the HR side, from the property management side, and from the IT perspective, to provide people a platform and good IT solutions so that they could be connected. So like you at a CBRE, we were given an advisory a long time before the lockdown happened to bring our laptops back and chargers back, and to ensure that we have a stable IT connection at home or wherever we are working from remotely. So this kind of collaboration you'll see will be more increased in times to come, and property management definitely will be at the forefront, and we will be given a lot more due importance that in times to come, especially this year.
No, I certainly agree with that, Shivali, and I think it's all about, you know, when you know, staff are working from home, it's just, you know, about keeping connected with each other, everyone checking in with each other. I think these are all important things. Keep as much communication as possible. In terms of, you know, what do you think will be the next biggest challenge going forward? Do you think it's going to be a struggle to get, you know, everyone to return to the workplace this year?
We're really looking forward for it. Like I said, that Cambodia has been very successful in containing the spread of the pandemic last year, and we were doing much better than our neighboring countries or what's happening in more developed countries. So I believe that we will be able to very successfully come out of this temporary situation of COVID spread. It's going to be tough. As I said, it's going to be that people will come back in tranches. I don't see very soon everyone coming back at workplace, especially the international occupiers who follow the regional guideline or global guideline. So they will still be wary of the fact and keeping the employee health and safety as a top priority, and enhanced protocols for safety and preventive measures for pandemic control. They're going to make sure that they keep the staff and they keep the people as a top priority. So of course, we're looking forward for a much sooner recovery. We can see the streets are hustling and bustling again. We can see the traffic is increasing. We can see restrictions are getting lifted. We can see more people are coming forthright for getting the vaccines. But I also would like to give a little warning here that, you know, we wouldn't want to be very relaxed, keeping all these you know, measures in mind. We would still want to keep a very close eye on how the local authorities are working with the international health advisory, and we would still follow all the protocols until the end of the year, especially, and we'll see how it goes in times to come. So each time the community spread happens, we think it's the last time, and we've overcome, and it's not going to happen again. But we have seen that there have been a few repetitions in recent past, not only just in Cambodia but also globally.
Sure, I think it's all about, you know, keeping those measures in place and keeping everyone as safe as possible to prevent.
Yes, and you know, these are such unprecedented times. We can't predict anything, but we can just forecast that we hope for a very, very, very soon recovery. And I feel that things will come back to normal, at least 70% to what it was pre-pandemic numbers and times and statistics very soon, within the next month. So looking forward for it, and we are tracking very closely how the numbers are, and we are here to collaborate together from workplaces and from advisory and transaction side and from property management side. Please reach out to us. The contact details are there on the website. Please reach to CBRE Cambodia's website and talk to us or email us. We're more than happy to assist you and guide you what we can do and how we can manage things better for you and add value. So thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.